You're in the right place at the right time. You're on the moral compass. Today we're here live with Mr. Missouri Ortega, Mr. Show Me Art. And he's here live with us on the show today. Brother Ortega, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. We're glad all of you are tuning into the Moral Compass. We're gonna check. We're gonna take this 1 second to check out this promo, and we'll be right back with Mr. Missouri Ortega, Mr. Show Me Art. Once again, we're live today here on the Moral Compass with Mr. Missouri Ortega, the very talented artist known as Mr. Show Me Art. Mr. Ortega, we're glad to have you on our show today, brother.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to give you just a little background about Mr. Ortega. Mr. Ortega, Mr. Missouri, Mr. Ortega F. Missouri is an African-American artist, illustrator from South Carolina who creates digital and mixed media art. He has a BA in art education from Claflin University, MFA in illustration. He has an MFA in illustration, rather, from Savannah College of Art and Design, and he has an EDS in educational administration from Cambridge College. While at SCAD, Ortega created an illustration for the Advertising Federation of Charleston. Duties and responsibilities were to illustrate the Charleston ADDY awards call for entries poster with fellow students using various media. The poster won an gold Addy for an ad club self-promotion from the Advertising Federation of Charleston in 2001. He also received his Master of Fine Arts in Illustration shortly after graduating from SCAD. He started teaching visual art. He is currently a school administrator at an elementary school of art in Columbia, South Carolina. He has a motto that describes his artwork and himself, which is silent with a loud voice. Mr. Missouri believes that the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And I will absolutely tell you that this brother is silent, but yeah, he has a loud voice. Yeah, he looks like a deep thinker. I'm checking him out here. But he has a loud voice, his artwork. You can go check him out on Facebook, Mr. Show Me Art. Where can they get your artwork, Mr. Ortega?
My website is Mr. Show Me .art. That's my website, but also like I said, I'm on Facebook under Mr. Show Me Art, and I'm on Instagram under Mr. Show Me Art.
Okay. Absolutely. And we'll revisit that before we leave. So those of you that might have missed that part, you can definitely understand, find out where to get his artwork. I'm stumbling a lot today. Let me go ahead and do let's rewind that tape, Bob. Yeah, I'm stumbling a lot today. Mr. Ortega, you have a very exquisite a very exquisite name. What is the story behind your name?
Of course, my last name is Missouri, like the state. And my first name is Ortega. That's a Hispanic last name. My first name came from my dad. When he was in the military, he was stationed in Germany. Um, in the military, they wear their last name on their uniform. And one of his friends, he was a Hispanic guy that was in the military with him. His last name was Ortega, so that's what he named me after him.
Oh, that's
And most
cool.
of the time, people don't know what race I am when they see my name because they have a, like I said, Hispanic, last name, Hispanic first name, and then Missouri just throws everybody off. So
Throws them off. And then
I'm
now
a
I'm
mystery.
just making the connection and the correlation. I feel slow, but Missouri, the show me state, Mr. Show Me All
Yes.
right, okay, 10-4. All right. The light bulb's starting to go on now. Mr. Ortega, your art is very thought provoking and makes serious social statements. It says everything, but by actually saying nothing verbally. At what age did you realize you were a superhero?
I don't know about superhero. As far as art, I mean, I've always loved art. The amazing thing is like I said, I was a art teacher for 18 years before I became administrator. But growing up, I really didn't wasn't around art a lot. I had two cousins that would draw, but as far as school, elementary school, I didn't have art at all. In middle school, I had an art class in the seventh grade for one semester. And then that was it. I didn't have it in high school, anything like that. It was just always a part of me. So it's a natural thing.
All right, brother. All right. Okay. We got Darnell Murray chiming in. She's watching. She says, "Hey Cornell." Well, hey there, Darnell. Good to have you watching today. You picked the right day at the right time. You're checking out Mr. Show Me Art today. We have him on our show. Awesome artist. From an artist perspective, would you say that the pen is mightier than the sword?
Yeah, because I know for me, that's how I express myself. You can read the story and you can once you put that thing down, that thing can be powerful. Whether you are writing, the arts period, I think are very powerful. Are very, if you're an artist and it doesn't have to be visual art. It can be, music, dance, drama. All of them are very strong. So,
Okay. Thank you.
so
Thank
I
you very
love
much.
I love the arts.
All right. Thank you, sir. We can tell. They'll be able to tell after a while when I start showing some of your artwork. Um, you are a Claflin alum, and I've noticed the drawings of the Greek fraternities and sororities on campus. What effect did going to an HBCU have on your art?
The culture itself at a HBCU is nothing. There's nothing like it. It's like you're a family because a lot of the HBCUs are not really big, especially at Claflin. It's not a very big school, but it's a powerful school. It's not big, but it's powerful. And by me going to Claflin, it's like everybody knew each other, and you know, um, it's just the HBCU. Everybody needs to. If you don't know anything about HBCUs, you need to either visit one or ask about it because it's like it made me the man that I am. I wouldn't be who I am. I tell everyone, I say Claflin saved my life. I say it that way, you know, because I was getting in trouble, things like that. And then, when I, started at Claflin, it's like, okay, I finally, becoming a man. So, Claflin, I was on the gospel choir, the concert choir, of course in the art department. But it's like everybody knew each other. Everybody is family, at the HBCU.
All right. So the culture and the family atmosphere. And you said it
Yes,
saved your life. That's awesome. That's awesome
yes,
testimony.
saved my life.
That's an awesome testimony. When people view your art, Mr. Ortega, what do you want them to take away?
Like I said, I like to tell my story through through visual art. Like I said, silent with a loud voice. I'm not a big talker, but I express myself through art, and I want everyone. I look. My art expresses kind of either my culture or what's going on around me. You know, it's like I like to tell my story. Pay attention to this. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. That's my way of saying, look, pay attention.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Georgia O'Keeffe said, I found I could say things with color and shapes that I couldn't say any other way, things I had no words for. And so, Mr. Ortega, do you or is your art an example of things you have no words for?
Repeat that last part. It was breaking up. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Would you say that your art is an example of things that you have no words for?
Yeah. Yes. Especially like what's been happening lately with the Black Lives Matter. It's like I just, for a lot of the things that's been going on, it's like you look at it and you like, I can't believe this is happening. And it's like I have to express it somehow. So I do it through art. I might not talk about it a whole lot, you know, but I use that as my language, to kind of express how I feel. It you can kind of tell a lot of my art. You can look at it as either how I'm feeling or what's happening around me. It's all dealing with like emotions and things like that. It's my way of getting it out.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jonathan Swift said, vision is the art of seeing what others can't see. To me personally, that sounded kind of prophetic. And so, Mr. Ortega, do you feel that through your art you can see what others can't see?
Yes, and that's one thing about for someone who's a visual artist, and they'll understand what I'm saying. Artists don't just look at things; they see it. There's a difference between looking at something and seeing it. Seeing it, just like for someone who's a musician, they don't just hear something; they listen to it. So it's a difference. Visual artists is like when I'm looking at someone's face, I don't just see the person. I pay attention to every detail of the face. Like I pay attention to the shadow, the light, the shape of the shadow. I mean, I can't turn it off. And it's like artists. Like I said, artists don't just look at something; they see it. It's a big difference.
That's interesting. That's interesting. You see things, and you said you see the shadow and you see the light. It's like you break it up in an exploded view.
Yes.
Okay. Horace said, "A picture is a poem without words." Do you see your art as poetic? And if your art from the last year is a song, what would be the title?
Mm. If my Yeah, I can see it's poetry. Like I said, but it's all connected. You can look at my artwork and create a poem from it. I've had poets to contact me and said, "Look, can I use your image to create a poem?" And I would say yes. I said you can use it to create. It inspired them to create art through poetry. So yeah, it's a form of poetry. As far as the song, man, the title of the song, you know,
You can use one
Life,
that's
like,
already out there for 2021, for 2020 rather.
mm, mm, I don't know, just thinking life. And for some reason, I'm thinking, I don't even know why. What's that song, Life? It's from the movie with Eddie Murphy and
Oh yeah, live.
was it Marvin? Martin. Yeah, I just think about it, life. But I'm just thinking, it just life. Period. It would be called life because, like I said, that's how I express my art through what's happening in my life, like what's going on in my life, what's around me.
All right. Okay. And if I had to answer that question, I would say respect. Cause anytime I
Okay.
see your stuff gets me fired up. I'll be like, I see your art rather. It's not stuff. I see your art. It gets me fired up. It's almost like RESPECT. And so your art, I
Mhm.
would say is an outlet for even the people that look at your art because or the viewers because it does say things that we cannot say at that time. I wasn't out there marching, you know, but I could feel it in your drawings and in your pictures. I definitely could. So I would say RESPECT, but you said life, and absolutely, life is a great song for what your art expressed in 2020. Definitely, Jason. We have and Darnell chimes in. Darnell Murray says, yes, I can connect with that on how you express yourself. So she says she can connect with you, Dr. Ortega, on how you definitely express yourself through media. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna give you a PhD, man. You're a doctor.
Okay.
Absolutely, we're gonna go ahead and give it to you. Jason Pollock.
Sounds good.
Jason Pollock said, painting is self discovery. Every good artist paints what he is. Mr. Ortega, do you believe this to be true of your art?
Yes. For me, I paint what I am. I'm true to my art. It's like I said, it's my expression. It's all of me. I put all of me. I put my heart, soul. I put my heart, body, mind, and soul into every piece that I make. You know, I don't just throw things out there. It's like it has some type of feeling or emotion or something behind it, and it's all me. It's all coming from the inside of me. It's not just coming from my head. It's coming from my heart too.
And I can definitely, I can feel you on that, and I can feel the emotion when I do see when I do look at your art, because your art does evoke strong emotion. Um, James Whistler said an artist is not paid for his labor, but his vision. Mr. Ortega, when you are commissioned to do a work, the first time you see the wall where a mural is to be painted, the canvas for a portrait, or sitting at your desk to create political satire, how does your vision take over?
Um, it's like I see it like once I know when I'm supposed to be creating because I ask questions. I ask what do they want, and it's like when people say when you talking to someone and you say to them, "I see what you're saying." I actually see what they're saying. Like it becomes a image or a movie or something in my head while they're talking to me, and once I see that, I can visualize that instantly. I already know all the parts to it, and when I'm looking at the canvas or the wall or anything like that, it's like I look at it, I actually see it there already. You know, I actually see it, and it's already there. And it's like I said, I was saying before, I can't turn it off. It's like my wife says sometimes you need to relax sometime and turn it off. I say I can't turn it off. Is always there.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. What part does your faith play in your art? Did you hear me?
My faith in God is. Say that again.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't hear that last part.
Okay. I was just saying, what part does your faith play in your art?
Okay. My faith in God is I'm nothing without it. I'm nothing at all. Nothing. And I know that God gave me the gift that I have. And like I said, you was reading, it says the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. God gave us all a gift. You know, everyone has a gift. And I'm just one of the blessed ones to know what my gift is. And I feel like he would not give it to me, and unless I'm supposed to use it. So, you know, every time I would say, I was like, God, I know you gave me this. I'm going to use it, you know. And, I talked to God, and I said, God, I'm going to use this the best way I can. Because, like they say, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And I don't want God to take it away, So it's very strong.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. I concur with you on that. I definitely concur with you on that. Um, Theodore Dreiser said, art is stored honey of the human soul, gathered on wings of misery and travail. Mr. Ortega, of what significance to you um, is your art that was born out of pain?
Mm, that was born out of pain. It's I don't know. It's if my if something's that strong to me in a way it's painful, I am gonna create something from it, because I can't have that on me. You know, I can't have that. If anything is painful, I'm going to create something because I can't have. That's my way of getting anything off of me, anything emotional, anything like that. If it's painful, I'm going to, even if I don't publish it, I'm going to create something. Um, because my art is all about emotions and feelings and like I said, it's a part of me, and I put everything into it, and I'm going to use that to. I'm not going to. I don't like holding things on me, so that's my way of getting it off.
It's your outlet. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We're gonna look at some of your artwork, and I'm gonna let you give us a brief synopsis of the
Okay.
artwork that we put up.
Oh yeah. Um, I look at that. Like I said, I've been working in elementary schools. I'm an administrator. I was an art teacher. I worked with mentoring programs, and it says save my future. Because it's like in the elementary school they look at jails look at the test scores of third graders to determine how many jails they need to build, because they feel like if you don't can't score, you can't read, you can't score good on the test, and you're not reading, then you're gonna fail. You can't read, um so you're gonna be behind. You go to the next grade level, you're gonna get think about it, they give you new material, but you didn't learn the first one. Then they're gonna move you on because they're gonna promote you. Then you further behind. Then by the time you get into ninth, 10th grade, you're gonna drop out because you're in the 10th grade, but you read on a fourth grade level. You know, and I'll be rather known as those students, they would rather be known as a bad person than a stupid person. I'm the bad guy. I'd rather you call me bad than call me stupid. So, they're gonna drop out. And once they drop out, they're gonna want all the stuff everybody else got. They're gonna want shoes, clothes, a car. How you gonna get it? Then now you're gonna do something illegal because you can't really get a job because you dropped out of school. So that's basically what this one was based on. The kids, at a young age, you got to catch them while they're young.
Thank you, sir. That's awesome. And I thank you for that statistic. I never knew that. Jails look at third graders test scores to see how much jails they need to build
Yep.
to get a projection. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's sad and that's scary. And for those of you that are going to be listening to this broadcast, and I'm sorry, let me paint a more descriptive picture. His picture is so awesome. Has a little boy holding his number in front of him and standing up to a lineup and saying save my future, and it's just an awesome piece. And I'll make these pieces available on my page, the Counselor's Corner, for those that will be listening in. Definitely, you can look me up at uh, Tony Johnson, and that's the Counselor's Corner on Facebook. And you'll see these pictures. I'll make these pictures available so you can get a good look see. But that's an awesome piece. Now, this piece is next. It's a man wearing a mask, and he has the Paul Laurence Dunbar poem up about the mask. Tell us a little bit about that, Mr. Ortega.
Of course, the pandemic is going on right now. Everybody's wearing a mask, but before the pandemic, everyone was wearing a mask. Before that, we because it says we wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. Because it's like a lot of people don't be their true self. I smile in your face. So it's like a lot of people are not real. So people are wearing masks anyway. We just now wearing a real mask because of the pandemic. So that's why the guy is, wearing a mask. But like I said, I like to be real. I'm the same person no matter where I am.
Right.
I don't like wearing a mask. I'm the same exact person. I like to be true and real with everything.
I like that use of that metaphor.
So
The mask. That's awesome. That's an awesome use of the metaphor. That's awesome. I never thought about that, but it's true. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. My friends would say, "Be straight up." That's what my homeboys would say. Yeah, be straight up. And so, yeah, I like a straight up person too. I like a straight up person. This
yeah.
picture, I love this picture of Senators Ossoff and Warnock, and we have Stacey Abrams sitting down at an easel, and she's painting Georgia blue.
Mhm.
Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, of course, it's like when they won the election in Georgia, it's like that's this is like the first image to come to my head was her painting. You know, she was the strong, what I'm saying? She was the one that went around and made sure this thing happened. And that's like I said, it was the first image, to come to my head when that happened. Um, it's all on her.
Yeah, my friends, I got some friends that work down there in Georgia on the election too. And they were just telling me she had this, this playbook that they went by, and she took all that venom and that bitterness out of when they cheated her in the election early. I better not say cheated, but cheat is a bad word now. I don't want to say cheat. So let me mark that from the ledger. But when the election went on down in Georgia, and she took that negative and turned it into a serious positive, and she's definitely a force to be
Mm-hmm.
reckoned. So that's an awesome picture. Now this,
Yeah.
when I saw this picture, I just I couldn't say anything. I saw this picture and it kind of it just really expressed how I felt, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are, we have a big crowd. I would call them the underbelly of America. And here we have a Confederate flag draped across, the shoulder of the person occupying the office at the time, which was yesterday at 12 o'clock. it ended, and then we have
Mhm.
a American flag draped at the bottom. He's in a gray suit with a red tie with stripes. Um,
Mhm.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, Doctor Ortega.
Well, it's like, it's like with that one, I never, when people ask me about this one, I never said that was him.
Right,
You
right,
know, so
right,
it's like I let people put that person there themselves.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Who do
right,
you think it is?
right.
And like I said, um, that flag, that Confederate flag, that thing, it strikes a nerve in you,
It does.
and a lot of people say it's all about pride and heritage, but and like they've been saying lately, the Confederacy didn't use that flag. That's the flag of the Klan. That's their flag. So that's pretty much. And the way things were going, the way I was so disappointed in, like, the way things are, politics and things. It's like, you know holding all these rallies and things like that. To me, I felt like that was just you having a big Klan meeting. That's how I felt. Now, I'm not saying that all Republicans are racist, but all races are Republicans. I guarantee you, all those Klan members are Republicans. Now, not all Republicans might not be the Klan. I'm not gonna say that, but I guarantee you, every racist and Klan member is a Republican. So, that's just my thought.
And I concur, and I feel like a lot of people, if they weren't racist, they tolerated racism.
Hmm.
Because you heard a lot of evangelical Christians saying, yeah, I can go along based on my religious views, but the fact of the matter is that the other views, to me, it's like they were minute. The
Hmm.
George Floyds, the Breonna Taylors. It was minute, and it was like that's why this speaks volumes, because it was like it was an agenda, and that picture is just like a serious metaphor for everything that was wrong with last year and the
Hmm.
years prior, but especially last year it got out of proportion. So
Yeah.
yeah, that picture it definitely speaks volumes. Let's take a look at this picture.
Oh yeah. Of course, what happened. George Floyd, with the knee on his neck, and I put the noose around his neck at the bottom because that's pretty much what you did. You put a noose around his neck, you know, and you can see the guy hanging in the back. That's the same thing. This is just a different way of doing it. That's a different way of doing it now. It's like, you know, pretty much hanging you from a tree without putting you on a tree. So that's kind of what that one was born for. I looked at it, that's the same thing. You hanging me. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for those listening in, this picture is of the policeman kneeling on George Floyd's neck. But Mr. Ortega cleverly puts a hangman noose down there by George Floyd's neck. And then in the background, we have a man hanging from a tree, antebellum style, basically. And you could see the comparison as well as the contrast in this picture with what something that's the bad old days that were not even supposed to rise again. They're supposed to be dead now, but they're still on life support, living. They're still living,
Mhm.
rather, still living in this time period.
Mhm.
I like this picture also. It's you have the gentleman over here in the white, walking away reading his Bible. We have an angel in the middle intervening, and we have a gentleman in a dark suit hiding in the shadows, throwing that chain,
Mhm.
trying to get it back
Mhm.
around this young man's neck. um
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, Mr. Ortega.
That one is, like I said, that deals with my faith right there. It's like you got all this stuff around you, these temptations and things that are around you just trying to get you. But you got to focus on God. You got to focus on, being good and all the things that is right. And regardless of all that, you need to focus on that. And you're gonna have God is gonna be there. God is gonna send angels there to protect you and to block those things. And it's up to you whether you're gonna focus on that or not. You know, God can't make you walk away from it. You gotta walk away from it yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's the protagonist and the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
The fight between good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, definitely. This is a riveting piece. Also, this piece with and I've seen you make an allusion in your artwork a lot of times to the storm is over. I remember that, and now this is the storm, and it's a picture of number 45 in a storm cloud, and we see the cyclone or the twister, the funnel cloud here was in a storm over the White House. This is powerful, powerful
Mm-hmm.
symbolism here. Mr. Ortega, tell us about that picture.
Of course, like you said, I did a series of pictures, pretty much dealing with his whole president. Dealing with him since he was president, and I call it the storm. It's like it's just always been confusion. It's confusion. It was always problems. It was always something bad. It was always something negative. It's like I've never watched the news so much. I don't watch regular TV anymore. I watch the news. Which and the thing about it, I kind of, in a way, want to say thank you to him. You know why? Because that actually woke up something in me. You know, that's when a lot of these images came after. A lot of these images that I have that you see came after he was the president, and it's like it woke up something in me because I kept seeing all this stuff. I kept watching all these things. I would come home and watch the news. And as soon as I watched the news, then I would go draw. A lot of these images will show up after I watch the news, you know, and it's like that's the storm, you know. Like I say, if you can look, I got a whole series of them. I mean, a whole, series of the storm, and he is, to me, that's just my opinion. He was the storm, or he started the storm. However you want to take it, he was involved in the storm. So.
That's an awesome use of personification. Now, I like how you turned him into the storm. When I looked at that picture, I said that's an awesome use of personification. Definitely, definitely the storm. Um, let's see. Now I love this picture. This is a picture of a young man. He has an axe across his shoulder. There's a hangman tree behind him. There's another tree that he's cut down and it has a hangman's noose on it. And I believe this work is entitled "Don't Leave Him Hanging."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so tell us about that piece, Mr. Ortega.
Like I said, with I feel like when they hung my people from the tree, you've just disrespected, you've just destroyed that whole tree. The tree itself is a bad thing to me. Don't just cut the rope down, cut the whole tree that the rope was hanging on, because I feel like that whole tree is cursed now. Because don't leave them hanging, don't leave the rope hanging, don't leave the tree. Cut them both down, cut the whole tree. That's how, that's pretty much how I was thinking when I saw this one, when I made this one. So
Wow. Wow. Okay. Now this is one of my favorites of your works. This is a picture of Breonna Taylor. She's she's sitting there to the backdrop of an American flag that's riddled with bullet holes, and across her mouth she has a band-aid on her mouth. Um, this is a powerful piece. Tell us about this piece, Mr. Ortega.
I did this one because it was like, they kept, say her name, things like that. And, they pretty much telling us to be quiet. but then they have a band-aid over it. Like, you know, for to put a band-aid over something, it's just a little scratch. It's really nothing. Put a band-aid on it, it'll be all right. That's pretty much how, you know, why I put the band-aid there, because it's like just put a band-aid on and move on. I'm thinking of the little kids when the little kids come when I was teaching and a little child, certain things that a child would do, you would send them to the nurse, right? But the
Right.
nurse at the school give each teacher a pack of band-aids. That means you don't have to send them to the nurse. Just here's the band-aid. You can put the band-aid on the kid and tell him to go sit down, in the back in the classroom. They don't have to go to the nurse because it's not that serious, you know. So that's how I got that from, because you can just put a little band-aid on it and kind of move on, from there.
Ooh, profound. Profound. Um, right around that same time, um, this set America on fire. We have a
Mm-hmm.
picture of George Floyd on a $20 bill, and we know that Mr. Floyd, the whole thing ensued with Mr. Floyd about having a counterfeit $20 bill that they later found out wasn't counterfeit, and
Mm-hmm.
this man lost his life over $20, and so tell us about this picture, Mr. Ortega.
Yeah, like you said, to me, you're saying he was only worth $20. That man's life was worth $20. You know, that's just pretty much what why I created this one. Because that's all I'm worth, $20. I feel like I'm priceless. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, $20. You know, so I don't know.
Mm. This picture, we have a slave, and he has chain on his neck, and he's wading through the water. We see hands of slaves that have drowned. It appears that they jumped off the ship, and this slave is walking in shark infested waters. And so we talked a little bit about this when before the show. So brother Ortega, I'm gonna let you go ahead, and Dr. Ortega, go ahead and fill us in. Go ahead and fill us in.
Like I said, with this one, I'm thinking about slavery, being on that ship, and you're going to slave, you're going to be in slavery, and the slaves were jumping off the ship, in the shark infested water, knowing they're gonna die. They know when they jump, they didn't think I'm gonna swim to the island over there and I'm gonna swim, no, they know they're gonna die. And it's like I would rather die free than to be a slave. I would rather die free, and to me that's like, man, that's some powerful stuff right there. That I know I'm gonna die, but you're not gonna put me into slavery. You're not gonna do that to me. And that's pretty much. And like I said, when I did this one after I saw the movie, the Black Panther. Um, that's what came to my head when I did this one.
Mm. Yeah, and let me include too that there's blood in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about to be a freedom frenzy, but uh, they'd rather, it's, I guess it's the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather choose to perish at sea, to die, than to stay on that slave ship and be taken into slavery. That says a
Mm-hmm.
lot. That says a lot. Um, this picture is another one that's powerful, brother. This has a the the saying, we've become acclimated with this from the Southern Christian Coalition. I am a man. We've heard this over and over again, and then we see a young man standing up. Um, he stand on one side. We have Dr. King sitting down with the crowd. Looks like we're on the White House Mall. And then on the other side, we have a young man standing up here with his pants sagging, and we have the generation now over here to the other side. We see the comparison in the contrast in what uh we used to be and what we are now, but then yet both trying to claim I am a man. So um share share your thoughts on your picture and how you know what kind of mood emotions you were feeling when you wrote this.
Like I said, I've worked in all grade levels from kindergarten through high school, and the high school kids, middle school, high school kids, I see them pants hanging down. I mean hanging low, and but they want to you want me to treat you like a man. You know what I'm saying? You want me to treat you, but you looking like this, walking around with your pants hanging down like that. And I did this one because, like you say, compared it to how it was, they ain't suits on this on the other side, on the right side. They're wearing suits, you know. But then now, to me, I feel like they're being so disrespectful to those on the right. Cause I'm walking around here with my pants hanging down, looking like, you know, I don't understand. It's like, why would you? Who told you that looks good? You know, and I know it's not comfortable. You know, I used to ask kids, if you were walking down the street and a dog was chasing you and your pants hanging down, you got to run with your legs wide open, and the dog is gonna, because you got your pants is falling, you holding your pants, the dog is gonna get you. And I remember asking a seventh grader one. This was years ago. I asked the seventh grader. I said, "Do you sag your underwear?" He said, "No, my underwear is on my waist." I said, "That's where your pants supposed to be. You don't sag your underwear." I said, "This is what I want you to do." I said, "I want you to go home, okay? And I want you to sag your underwear. Turn around, put your back to the mirror, and then look back at the mirror to see what it looked like." That's what it looked like to me. You won't sag your underwear. So that's pretty much, like I said, when I thought of this one, the two different generations.
Absolutely. And you know, I think that it's a huge misconception because it's been indoctrinated as our culture. I spoke with a young man who was a college grad, you know, who was sagging his pants, and he was trying to explain to me that was a part of our culture and our heritage. And I said, brother, that's not part of our culture and our heritage. I said, it's the picture that they paint or what society paints now because this is how they want us to look.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that you have to have enough you have to have enough self-esteem, enough
Mm-hmm.
self-esteem to know that you are the product that you're presenting when you go out. And so yeah, it's not about your culture. Why would you let someone carve out how you're supposed to look and how you got to look? And I think those are some of the things where we have strayed away from who we are, a rich, strong heritage. We've strayed away from that by trying to accept actually what Hollywood and music says we are and who we should be and how we should look. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that piece is an awesome piece. I like that piece. We're on our last two pictures, and this is one of the last two. Uh, this really caught my eye, and I believe this is called "Creating Me a Clean Heart."
Mm-hmm.
This is a clean heart, and that's Psalms 51 and 50, 51 and 10. Is that right? That's kind of small. 51 and
Mm-hmm.
10. I'll look at that. Yeah, Psalms 51 and 10. We have a lady with the an artist with the paintbrush, and this gentleman's chest is open, and she's painting his heart. She's actually painting his heart. And so tell us about that picture, Mr. Ortega.
Like I said, that one comes from the Bible, and by it being a paintbrush, that to me, I did that for myself. This one, I constantly want to have that clean heart. For me as a person, I didn't really do this for anybody else. I can't help. I can't tell anybody else what to do, but I need I need for my heart to be clean, constantly. I don't need to I don't want anything negative to be coming. I don't want anybody thinking that I'm a negative person. I always constantly want everyone to know that I'm being real and true and honest. And when I say I care about someone, or that I really mean it. It's coming from a pure place.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And that was the last picture because I'm getting ready to put this picture back up, and that's you at the
Mhm.
easel. So that was the last picture, but I couldn't do you justice today because
Mhm.
I tell you, man, you've got so much artwork. I couldn't pick. It was hard for me to pick through it. And oh, let me throw this one up. Let me throw this one up since we're here talking. Let me definitely throw this one up. This is hilarious to me.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
we got the man with two peaches in front of his
yeah,
eyes, like playing peekaboo.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, my background is education, but I went to school to be an illustrator. So I throw in little illustrations here and there. Like I said, some humor. So I didn't want to say anything about him being impeached. I don't want to do that. But he holding up two peaches. You know what I'm saying? So he likes peaches. I have a different one that I did of him looking out the window and his wife's sitting next to him. She's holding a bowl of peaches, and there's a peach little tree in a vase, a pot behind them. So
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that
yeah,
one, but I couldn't get that one up. I saw that one, but like I said, I can't do you justice, man, on your artwork because you've got so many good pictures, and I'm a big fan of your artwork, Mr. Ortega, and you can check him out at Mr. Show Me Art. That's Ortega, Missouri. Also, you can check him out. You can get his artwork from his website. And give me that website again, Mr. Missouri.
it's Mr. Show Me Art.
Mr.
Um,
Show Me Art.
One of my most recent pictures is the one of Martin Luther King kind of sitting down and bending over thinking, um, with Kamala and Vice President Kamala Harris and President Obama standing behind him. Um, I I didn't put that one on my website. To me, that I feel like it's a special one. And what I'm doing is people are getting it from me directly from me, and I'm actually signing that one. Like I sign it myself.
Awesome.
Um, that's the only way you can get a real one like that is for me. I sign it myself, and I send it to them.
Okay, and I changed the background real quick because you see the one I put up. I put this one up. And I know a lot there were ladies wearing their jeans and wearing their pearls yesterday.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's Kamala Harris. I want to move it up and down so you can see the whole picture. She's got the AKA symbol. Um, and then the picture's pink and green, and that's her standing up in the background. It's an awesome picture.
yeah.
Um,
I actually did that one for my wife. Asked me to do that one because my wife is an AKA, so I actually did that one for her. Pretty much.
okay, all right. So you were commissioned by your wife on that picture.
Yeah, my wife commissioned me to do that one. Yeah,
Well,
but I
hey,
didn't, but I didn't get payment. I don't know. I didn't get my payment.
listen, that's what you're gonna have to write that off. That's a tax
Yeah,
write-off, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Mr. Ortega, our last question for you tonight, Mr. Ortega. On this journey, um, on your journey as an artist, what would you say is your truth?
Um, Always be yourself. You know, always be. I heard this. I forgot exactly what it is. When I was in college, working on my EDS, it was pretty much saying, you know, I remember, be who you is and not who you ain't. Cause when you is who you ain't who you is. It's something. It was something like that. But always be yourself. To thyself. Oh, I forgot. To thyself, always be true. I don't know exactly, but always being truthful, always being honest, always being yourself. That's my truth. I'm always be myself in everything that I do, especially in my art.
Well, I'm glad you left us with that great. See, you're a doctor. I told you, you're a doctor, man. With that philosophy you left me
I
with.
messed the quotes up, but
That's okay. I understand. Always be who you is, and not who you ain't. Listen, you better be glad I didn't know that when I had English 101 in 12th grade. Yeah, I would have got in trouble for that all the time. Always be who you is and not who you ain't. Because I had a
yeah,
teacher hate ain't. But
yeah,
yeah, but absolutely, man. Keep on drawing. We love your artwork. We thank you so much for coming to our show today,
yeah, I
brother.
appreciate it.
Oh man, listen, I enjoyed you coming on our show. Everybody that didn't get a chance to watch it, we'll definitely be broadcasting it again. And to all of you listening out there on the platform that you'll be listening to, you can definitely go to Mr. Show Me Art. That's on Facebook, and you can check out all his artwork. His artwork is awesome, guys. You gotta check the brother out. But thank you once again, Mr. Show Me Art, Ortega, Missouri, the superhero with the superpowers, brother. We thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you all for tuning in today, and we're gonna see you the next time. And I'm Cornell Johnson for the Moral Compass.